Hello and welcome back to the garage. Today we're going to speed run getting everything finished welded in this cab so that we can be completely done with that. If you're not aware, you're new here, 1984 Ford F250. Been doing floor pans, outer pans, both sides. Now I just got to get the walls done here, a little bit back in there on that brace, and the cab pieces here in the middle need touched up. One thing I probably won't do is going to be the piece where the roller stripping goes on today, just because I don't really want to do that today. But yeah, unless I get into something technical, I'm probably just going to be cutting and welding. It's probably all you guys are really going to see because it's all pretty self-explanatory, and I kind of want to get it done. But as you can tell, I'm just going to cut metal there, put metal there. Cut metal here, put metal there. And so, same thing back there, just pretty much box that back piece in, get that back piece brought around. It's probably going to be more difficult than it should be because we're just going to be reusing all of the piece scraps and everything that I've cut off of everything else so far, such as all of this. Actually, it'd be a really nice bottom piece there if I can straighten it out enough. And yeah, we'll just keep using the last all these floor pans and everything that I've been using. Still gotta get the seat belt connected, but yeah, let's get all this stuff finished in, and then we get on to seam sealing and first round of paint. So maybe actually I gotta look that up. I might actually paint then seam seal. I haven't decided. I don't really know what the correct way is, but we're not actually even using seam sealer, so we'll make it up as we go. So let's get into this. Everything I've been doing in this floor has been, for the most part, correct. But now we're kind of getting down to crunch time to where we gotta get some stuff done. So I can get this truck out of here. So we're not going for pretty anymore, which is not going to say this truck is done beautifully. But currently, we're going to go to get things together, and I'm about to burn my hand. If this damn thing will ever tack. Oh, this is going to be a fun one, guys. Fun fact, always check out your welder settings. Sometimes you forget that you go and worked on other things for other people. Alrighty, well, all that stuff's all finally welded in. We'll do a little bit, like I said, right back here, a little more rust repair, and then tie in this little piece out here. But I think for now, I'm going to hop on the big stuff and try to get that whole big piece filled. At least then I'll be feeling pretty good about where I'm at, because that I don't think will take too much, and both these will take a while, but it's getting there. It's getting there. I'll get that big piece done, and then we'll see how it looks when it's done. Well, I kind of just started getting hard at it. I got this piece all fixed in. Everything's wet right now because I don't know if that's old insulation down there or an old mouse house, what exactly is in there. Luckily, I saw my speaker wires that are probably junk anyways and need redone because this looks terrible and it's about to break. But regardless, that's all fixed up. Obviously, we already know about that. I went ahead and got everything back in there all nice and tied in together. Same thing on the other side. All that stuff's all welded in now. So yeah, I got those back arches done for the rear seat. Got this front seat section, or the front by the kick panel and the floor pans finished up. I honestly haven't decided if I want to throw in some stuff to hold these guys in right now or not. Like I've been saying, my goal is to get this truck out of this garage so I can get, my wife can pull in here. Not to also mention I've got another project I'd like to touch on this weekend. But yeah, I think now all the welding's done. I'm going to go ahead and, if anybody remembers when we did the floor pans, how I coated everything in Rust Reformer, I'm going to go ahead and clean everything out, and then we're going to do that too. I think it takes 3 coats. Only thing I've left is that plug over there, which what I'm going to do there is I'm going to cut just a circular or oval piece of metal out of some of this good metal I've got, probably tack it on the bottom. Haven't fully decided yet. And probably just seam seal it in. That's basically how the old one is hooked in. Looks like seam seal and 2 screws. Maybe something very similar there. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get everything cleaned out. That'll give this little spot some time to dry and cool off. And then I'll go ahead and we'll get some paint on this. Paint. Also, safety stuff. Seatbelts hooked up. Kind of forgot about that. But enough talking. Let's get some stuff moving. Hello there, everyone. Everything is now vacuumed out. It's ready. It's as ready as I'm probably going to get it, if we're being honest. For the rust reformer, I got the little patch made there. I'm going to rust reform it all first, then I'll get that put into place. But we got to test it, all right? I mean, we can't just say it's done without testing stuff. I'm going to say we're probably pretty good. I mean, not that I'm the biggest guy in the world, but still I've been losing weight lately. I'm in the 260s somewhere, 6 foot tall. If I can jump around on this thing and nothing's breaking or falling through, I think we're pretty solid. So let's get to it. Isn't that right, Colt? We got a happy old dog. He's 19. He's a chocolate lab. He's a good boy. So if you didn't see previous videos when we did the floor pans, we're going to use this rust fix. I don't even know why I just use this in the first place instead of replacing all these pans. I mean, it's been a hell of a lot quicker. But regardless, I will say one thing I do want to say about Dupacolor's paint is these lids are on there pretty damn good, because you can just, then they'll come off. But pulling them off just by hand, difficult. So you might be wondering, how am I going to do this? It's pretty easy. Here's the floor, here's the stuff. I'm just going to do 3 coats of it. It's what I think it wants. Might be saying, well, hey, where your paint's not rusty. You're right, but I don't really want to miss a spot that I might have welded. So, yeah, I'm just going to go through and hit everything, including, sorry, that was a terrible camera shot, including like spots like right here where I didn't touch around the tunnel. The dissimilar metals kind of worry me because I don't know if that's aluminum or galvanized. I'm assuming aluminum because it doesn't look like it's galvanized any. But regardless, we're going to do, I think the way this stuff says to do it is do 1 coat, and then when it's tacky, hit another coat, then when it's tacky, hit your 3rd coat and let it set up. Don't quote me if you buy this stuff. Read the can because I don't remember. But yeah, pretty much what I'm going to do now is just this for a little while. Then we'll get onto the seam sealer. Now I know technically you're not supposed to put seam sealer on any form of bare metal. I'm going to call this the primer. As you guys can tell, I'm real concerned about, moving everything and making sure everything's perfect. But I'm actually going to wait and pay attention because I do know to hit this wall pretty good. So I'll get back to you guys in a minute. Alright, so I got 3 coats on everything. Ends up I was reading the can after I did the first coat. I think it says wait 2 minutes prior to. And however, I know it doesn't really look like it in areas such as that. It does tell you to take 80 grit sandpaper or a wire brush prior to. I did do that. I'm not going to sit here and say that my prep is perfect, but I did do at least the bare minimum. But you guys really won't see any change in it at the moment. I just finished the 3rd coat. once I come back and do the seam seal, which I can assure you is not real seam seal. So if you got your hopes up thinking, man, this guy's using seam seal, no, we're using liquid nails. That's not a joke. We're going to use liquid nails as seam seal. Never tried it, but it's a lot cheaper, and that's what Pole Barn Garage uses, who, oddly enough, stickers right there, so it only makes sense. But kind of trying to be cheap with that. And there's a few other things I have thought about when it comes to doing the carpet that might be cheap. I did buy an actual vinyl carpet kit right there, so I am doing that the correct way. But for the padding underneath, if anybody has any ideas that are cheaper than actually going out and buying a bunch of Dynamat or something like that, unless there's some really cheap stuff out there I don't know about, please let me know about it. Because I do know I want to get some kind of carpet padding, put that in behind every single panel just to kind of help hush stuff up a little bit as I'm going down the road. Like I said, that's a month or two down the road, and I'll likely do all that in my driveway and keep the garage open. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let all this stuff sit here, set up, dry, do its thing. I know it says that you aren't supposed to do something. I think you're supposed to get it wet for 24 hours, so I'm not 100% sure, honestly, if I'm going to seam seal tonight or wait till tomorrow morning, to be completely honest, once I go inside with the dogs. Probably going to see if I sit down in my chair and get comfortable or not, and that's going to be the deciding factor. But yeah, I'm probably not showing it very much, but I am fucking pumped that this floor is all finally together. I wish I knew how many hours I did into this. I will say one thing though, floor pans, easy. Knock that out in a day. It's this stuff back in here where you're making the little nitty gritty crap and adding stuff in and making stuff work. That's where your time comes in. I mean, same thing over there. Like I said, floor pans are easy. That's a day job. It's the rest of it where you kind of get into, oh shoot, there's a little gap there, a little gap here. Out there knows what they're doing. It's like, well, that's because you're an idiot and you only use pieces that you had laying around, and that's because I'm cheap. Which, I mean, a lot of the time being cheap makes you do more work, which is exactly what happened here. But I don't know, good learning experience. Not done yet. Still have a lot, but yeah, enough talking. We'll get back when we see what I'm doing next, because I don't know. So one thing I would like to say is that in case anybody's wondering, like, is that idiot really going to do exactly what he says he's going to do, and we're going to use liquid nails? I can 110% assure you that this idiot's going to do exactly what he said he was going to do. So yeah, let's go ahead and get seam sealing. So you may wonder, what scientific techniques do I have for this? The answer is, find the spots you want to put it and then just put it there. Oh, there's a small gap. We'll just fill that in really good. Which actually, that gap will be filled in with the plate I've got to cover that. That's why I'm really not too concerned about that little spot. There's a little spot, but yeah, this is pretty much how this is all going to get seam sealed, is right here. Gonna run a good bead, and then we're just gonna call it a day. Obviously, I should say we're gonna let everything set up, and then we're gonna put that spray-on bed liner type stuff over it. Just out of a can. I think I might have actually bought one of the really big ones. I can't think what they're called right now. And also, like how I said, we're gonna patch that area. It's legitimately what we're gonna do. If you look at, if you look at the way Ford did it, it was a plate that had 2 self-tappers on it. This is about as scientific as they were. The downside is I might be upside down, which is not exactly what I wanted. Yeah. That's where that plate's gonna go. And just to make sure everything's happy, put a whole lot in there too. just so we don't have to worry about any leaks or anything. As I've stated, is this the correct way to do it? Not really. If I'm building a show car, should I do it this way? Hell no. If you're like me and you just want to have the vehicle that you move hay around with and that you want to use as a little bit of a tow pig when needed, yeah, then doing this stuff's fine. Like I've said more than once, this is not a show vehicle. This vehicle, once it's nice, which will be a while, it might go to a local car show or two just because I like the truck. But it's definitely not going to be a head-turning show car unless it's a 50-50 there. We're either going 50 miles per hour or you're 50 feet away from it. Then you might think she looks alright. That's the end goal for this truck. So, like I said, it's going to be a work vehicle, so it's going to get scratched, it's going to get dinged, things are going to happen to it. So if anybody out there thinks I'm going for a professional in-your-garage restoration, I'm not. I'd rather have a vehicle I can drive and enjoy and use. But that's just me. Regardless, you guys understand what I'm doing. Just smearing the goop in the crevice, so I'm going to keep at this, and we'll show you when we're all done. You'll just see a bunch of white stuff, basically. If anybody is interested in how this came out, everything's still wet. And I'm going to be honest with you, we're all glopped on there pretty good. That was kind of my main intention, is to make sure everything's glopped on there heavy, and every potential pinhole that I may have missed while welding is now, well, no longer missed. Somebody might say, oh, that looks like crap. Yeah, it might. I can only imagine it probably looks as good as the seam sealer they probably used in the 80s, because, to be honest, if this was a Monday morning car, it probably wasn't really old Frank or Bob's really having a care in the world to how good the seam sealer looked. So I know I picked it out of multiple places still in this vehicle. At the end of the day, though, all this stuff's really going to do is if it can help make this thing last another year or 3, then it did its job. I'm not expecting this to be the whole reason everything fails or why everything didn't work out like it should. Like, just going to help it hopefully last a little bit longer. Like I said, if this thing can last as long as it did from when it was brand new to now, I'll be old enough, I don't think I'll care. That's if I even still own this truck in that many years. But let's just go ahead, and once this all is dried up, we'll get to spraying in the Turbo Can bed liner. It's pro grade. So, and it's 4 times faster. So I should be done lickety split. Regardless, let's let this stuff set up. I don't know if this will get done today or tomorrow. I might throw some orange over top of it, make it look pretty. Haven't fully decided. I got some other things I can get done today, so we'll see how the day goes. Well, all the seam sealers in. As you can tell, looks like hell. Will it work? Yes. So now giving it a 24 hours to get set up and get all good to go. Let's get some paint in here. Alright, so I got the turbo can all ready to go. Let's see how this sprays. I've never messed with the bed liner on. And, I don't know, kind of sprays like spray on bed liner, I guess. Just kind of showing you guys all this out here. I'm going to pay better attention so I get these edges and stuff done really well. But, yeah, I guess that's kind of what I'm going to be spraying everywhere in here. But this stuff's fumey, so that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing now for the inside floor of this truck. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 1 or 2 coats. We'll see how the coverage and stuff is with this. But yeah, this stuff's fumey enough. I'm going to get a garage door open and I'm going to watch what I'm doing. So I'll show you the finished product. So this is pretty much the final product. I still got to do some touching up back there once I can move those seat belts. I didn't really feel like moving them out. But yeah, everything in the truck is coated pretty well. I did do a second coat already because I think it says on their bottle, wait 20 minutes and then you can recoat. I went ahead and just did a second coat just to make sure there's good coverage on everything. Plus, like on that side, I could hit these sides of these so there wasn't orange looking right there. The thing I didn't notice is that I did not realize is it does say wait, I think 48 hours prior to putting things in your truck bed. So I'm probably gonna let this stuff cure for 2 days, and then I'll go ahead and put the seat back in. We'll get this thing out. So in the meantime, I can get things cleaned out of the truck and out of the garage and everything. Luckily, we've got a nice day, but I know we got snow coming in a day or so. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and probably get the truck cleaned up, get the garage cleaned up a little bit. I got a few things to do, trash to get rid of, things like that. So I'm going to work on that for the time being, and we'll probably come back, put the seat in. Today's Sunday on Tuesday. So, yeah, pretty happy with how everything looks. Pretty happy. We'll see how it reacts with the seam seal, but it really helps hide a lot of that, which is kind of what I was after. Plus, this should show some form of sound deadening. Not a lot, but some, you know. But that'll work well until I actually get time to put the sound deadener carpet kit in. I mean, I've had the carpet kit for like 2 months now. I just haven't had a chance to. I need the garage, so we'll probably end up doing that in the driveway sometime. But for now, I'm pretty happy with how things are looking. All right, so that's basically the finished product of everything. Looks the exact same as it probably did wet. So I got to pull that as a apart, and then once I get this thing out of the garage, then I'll throw a little bit more bed liner on there. Nothing too crazy though. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get the seat in. Let's see if I can get this thing out of here. All right, seat is in. Battery is hooked up. Let's see what happens. All right, try. Let's start. Like I never even shut it off. If I can get in reverse, that'd be cool though. There we go. Back this thing around and back it into my driveway, but I think I'll under here. As much as I hate this thing some days, man, I forget how much I like it. But yeah, I think we'll call it here though, everybody. Thanks for watching, I guess. Till the next one. I'm gonna get this thing back in, and something just fell off the top of my truck, but that's alright. Just happy to have this thing out of the garage again. But till next time, thanks for watching.